Hello, I'm back, and today I am making, I'm checking in on my cherry almond mead that I started about 10 days ago, and it looks like it's done fermenting. I think now is a good time to move on to the next step. Why did I make this mead? Well, I had about half a bag of frozen black cherries, and they've been sitting in the freezer for a while, so I was like, oh, make some mead out of that. And I made a bunch of almond extract. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I made a lot of extract. So I have one of my bottles here, and I'm going to use my extract to add the almond flavor. And we're going to do that in this video. But first, I want to talk about the initial steps to making this mead and how we got to this point. So here we go. First thing I did was, which is what I seem to do every single time, is I boiled about half a gallon of water, and I added one black tea bag to that and got that boiling and steeped the tea bag for probably 10-15 minutes and took that out of there. And once that was done, I added my honey to the hot water. Now, this honey was very, very crystallized. It took a long time to get it out of the container. It was 3 pounds of honey. I'm not sure the entire 3 pounds got in there because even shaking it around with hot water, it was hard to get the stuff on the very bottom. But roughly 3 pounds of honey added to that, stirred up until it was completely mixed in with the water. Once that was done, I went ahead and took a little bit of that, put it in a glass, and added a half a teaspoon of Go Firm to that. And I set it aside to let it do its thing. While that was cooling off, I went ahead and I added my 2 pounds of mostly thawed cherries. They weren't entirely thawed. I didn't time it out quite right, but I poured them into my big mouth bubbler here. This one has a spout, which I will be using. Anyway, I added my cherries in there. I poured the hot tea mixture, honey and tea mixture, over the cherries. And then I took my potato masher and I just mashed up the cherries a little bit just to break them down even more. Once I was done mashing my cherries, I went ahead and I added cold water to get it up to about a little over a gallon, and also to cool off the must. And at that point, my Go Firm slurry was ready. So I took my 71B yeast and added about half a packet to the Go Firm to create my yeast slurry. And I set that aside and hung out, waited until the yeast woke up, and they woke up very happy. I'll put a little clip right here. You can watch them go poof. So once they were awake, I went ahead and put them into the must, which was also body temperature, and stirred it up. I stirred it up as well as I could just to make sure there's plenty of oxygen in there for the yeast to keep them happy. Then I took a gravity reading, and the starting gravity for this one, the original gravity was 1.106. And as usual, I put the lid back on along with a bung and an airlock with some sanitization fluid in it. And I set it in my closet, step fed it 24, 48, 72 hour mark with a quarter teaspoon of Fermate O. I did add Fermate O on the 7th day. And since then, I believe this has dried out. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and rack the mead off of the cherries into my pitcher that is full of things that are drying. Into my pitcher. And then we'll get a gravity reading and start adding some stuff. So I will be right back. Okay, so just show, I have this tube that came with the big mouth bubbler with the spigot. I'm going to add it, stick it on here, and just open this up and see what happens. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. Dripped a little bit, but that went really fast. That was nice. We have a full gallon here, And I'm going to go ahead and put my hydrometer in there and take a gravity reading. Okay, looks like we're at 1.000. I'm going to go ahead and, where's my spoon? I got to get my spoon. I got to get a glass. I want to taste it and then add my, some of this extract. I just want to see if I can add some almond flavor to this. And, I'm going to probably add a little bit of this black cherry juice too. Sugar is in here. Yeah. See if we can sweeten it up a bit with this. I'm also going to add honey. And if it starts fermenting again, I'm fine with that. If it gets up to 14%, I'm cool. I have been pasteurizing a lot of my meads, but this one I'm going to just let it go. So, okay, so I'm just going to take a little taste. I have a feeling it's going to be a little funky because it's only 10 days old. Yeah, tastes like a young dry mead. I can't really taste the whew. Wow. Yeah, no. What am I doing? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and first I'm gonna back sweeten this first to kind of see if I can taste more of the cherry if it's a little sweeter. I'm gonna add some cherry juice, so we'll start with that. Okay, so I added 16 ounces of cherry juice. I'm gonna stir it up and see what it tastes like now. Okay, so I can definitely taste the cherry more. It's not much sweeter. I'm gonna go ahead and add some honey. Okay, I added 5.5 ounces. I'm gonna take a minute to get that mixed in and we'll see what it tastes like then. Okay, so this is with, what's it? Just under 5.5 ounces of honey added. Okay, well that made it taste more like cherry. I'm gonna add some. I'm gonna start with a tablespoon of almond extract. And I made this with chopped up blanched almonds and vodka and just let it sit for a few months. Okay, so I think I can taste it. It's really hard when it's so new and it has the funkiness to it that kind of overpowers everything. I'm going to add a little bit more almond and then I'm going to put it in a 1 gallon carboy and let it age in secondary for a little bit. I might come back and add some more juice and almond extract before bottling as well. So I'm going to do 1 more tablespoon. Just a teeny tiny bit in there. Yeah, I think I can taste a little bit of the almond. I'm sure it'll pop out once some of these gases let off here. Nice stirring it up. I'm sure I degassed it at least a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and move this into 1 gallon carboy. I have slightly more than a gallon, so we'll see how this works. I'll be right back. Okay, so I filled it up as far as it could go. I have this gallon. I have about 16 ounces left that I'm just going to put into a bottle. Have a bung, that there. Just use the same airlock. Put a little bit more fluid in here. Okay, so I didn't take a gravity reading after adding all of the the stuff. So if this starts bubbling again, I'm just going to have to guess what the ABV is. So I went ahead and updated my label to show that it was at 1.000. And I'm going to update I have a spreadsheet that I keep all my recipes on. So I'll add in all the additions. I did 2 tablespoons of almond extract and 5.5 ounces of honey and 16 ounces of cherry juice. I have a feeling this one's going to be pretty good. I think that's it for this video. I hope it was useful, and I will see you next time. Thank you.